you. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right. So, see, I shaved my head. This is what you do when you're bored. So how's everybody doing? All right. Hi, Catmando. Hi, Oil Sands. Ask Bonnie about me shaving my head last week. She was shocked. I told her I was, thinking of doing it. I knew, yeah, cat wig. And I actually would have been here a little sooner, but I had to make a couple stops. I had to get some medicine for Bonnie. But then I stopped at, hello, Daisy, Solly, and Pippi's dad. I stopped at Arby's, and they were packed in the drive-thru. So it took me 20 minutes to go through their drive-thru. I wanted to stop and real quick, and I had to get a couple supplies, but I didn't get a chance, so I'll do it this week. So today we are going to read 2 books. We got Troopers, Wobbly Way, A Tale of Encouragement. And we got Oscar and Klaus, The Mission to Cataria. So, next week for Storytime, I have a very special book about, and it's going to be a true story as well. What I like is bring up a true story and maybe something that might be a little fantasy. So today I'm going to start off with Troopers, Wobbly Way, and this is a true story. Now, before I get into this, I tried to do some research on this, trying to find out a little bit more information on Trooper, and there is actually another CH cat named Trooper out on Instagram, but it's not the same Trooper. This is a gray tabby, and this basically is Trooper. And Trooper actually looks a lot like our Guinness boy. Our Guinness boy, looks a lot like that. So, all right. So without further ado, let me do some reading. And it would be nice if I put my glasses on. All right. Dear reader, my name is Trooper, and I was born with cerebellar hypoplasia. It makes me wobble and fall over, especially when I get excited. It is hard for me to do all the things that big cats do in their daily lives. Lucky for me, I got to live with Laurie when I was a kitten. She has lots of love and patience and helped me face my challenges and discover what is truly meant to be a big cat. Bye, Tina. Every day is a new adventure for me. I love to explore. Laurie gets mad when I wander too far, but I know it's really because she loves me and gets worried. I hope my story can help you discover your very own special way in life like I did. All right, so this is written and illustrated by Laurie Ford. So that was the introduction. All right. More than anything else in the world, Trooper wanted to be a big cat, doing all the things that big cats do. Trooper wanted to be just like the other cats on the farm. And that one orange cat looks a little familiar. But Trooper wasn't just like all the other cats. Trooper was different. Trooper was born with the wobbles. Everything that Trooper did was in a wobbly sort of way. That's a very cute picture of Trooper. I'm going to still try to continue to see if I can find out a little bit more information on Trooper, but I don't know. This is actually also subtitled A Tale, T-A-I-L, of Encouragement. Trooper tried to run, jump, and play, just like all the other cats, but she wobbled and bobbled until, whoops, she fell over. Poor Trooper, Buttons cried as she ran off to look for rabbits. Trooper tried to eat, just like all the other cats, but she wobbled and bobbled until swish. Muttered Forrest, sticking her tail up in the air. I should also mention that it says she fell over. So, hi, J-Mo. For some reason, there we go. Trooper tried to do her business just like all the other cats, but she wobbled and bobbled until, argh, what a mess. Good grief, groaned Tony, covering his eyes with the paw. I think we all been there and we've seen some of our CH cats here. Trooper even tried to chase birds, just like all the other cats, but she was too wobbly. Chee-hee, 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 chee-hee. It does sound like a cat. You know how they make that noise. This morning, we had 6 blue jays in our front, and our mommy and baby combo, boy, they were chittering so much with it. It was funny. You're welcome, Ms. M. I will never be a big cat, cried Trooper, feeling very, very sad. Suddenly, a tiny bird fell out of the tree. Oh, thank goodness, he chirped. You are not just like all the other cats. They would have surely pounced on me and broken my wings. Trooper watched the tiny bird fly away. Thank you. For the first time in her life, Trooper was glad she was different. From that day on, Trooper tried doing all the things that big cats do, in her own wobbly sort of way. Trooper knew the more she practiced, the better she would get. Trooper practiced and practiced and wobbled until Trooper was doing the things that big cats do. Hooray! In her own special wobbly way. Except, of course, chasing birds. And the bird saying, yeah, Trooper! And And there goes that gallant-like cat that's there too. Yay, Trooper! That summer, Squirt came to live on the farm. He wanted to do all the things that big cats do, but he was too little. Trooper remembered. It is hard trying to be like everyone else. Trooper hugged the tiny kitten, who, more than anything else in the world, wanted to be a big cat, just like Trooper. And then the end of the end of the story has a little biography on Trooper. Trooper was born with a neurological disorder called cerebellar hypoplasia, often referred to as wobbly kitten syndrome. It is most often found in feral kittens and affects their balance, motor skills, and the ability to perform the common activities of a cat. Many can adapt and live happy lives, but this usually requires a caregiver and lots of love and patience. I have grown to love this kitty with all of my heart. Even today, I still shed tears when I see her wobbling across the yard without a care in the world. Trooper worked hard to get where she is and is living a happy, fulfilling life as a big cat. I still can't figure out who got the best end of the deal, me or Trooper, but I don't think it would take very long to figure that one out. And again, very, very nice looking cat. Looks a lot like our Guinness boy. Of course, Trooper's a girl. So, a story about finding your own special way in life. Again, this is called Trooper's Wobbly Way, a tale, T-A-I-L, of encouragement. Written and illustrated by Laurie Ford. I got this off of Amazon. I was looking for some more kitty books that were true stories. But I'm having some difficulty, and I mentioned this, I'm having difficulty finding out a little bit more about her. Like, what was it, 3 weeks ago, I read the story about Tria Maria, the cat with no eyes, and I found out a lot of information about her, and I put it out there on Gallant's page, and I might have put it on the Chatters page, you know, because Tria Maria's got her own Facebook page, and that was a nice thing. So as soon as if I hear any more about Trooper, because the other thing I did is I went into all the CH Facebook pages, like 3 of them, and I went to see if anybody knew anything about Trooper. Of course, people were told me about Trooper. There is a CH cat named Trooper with an Instagram page, which is actually very inspiring, but it's a different cat. So, all right. So let me just take a sip of soda here, and I know they call it pop here in Defiance. And we are going to read Oscar and Klaus, The Mission to Cataria. All right. Excuse me. What are you doing? That's my foot. That is my foot. God, they're funny. So, again, the next book is Oscar and Klaus, The Mission to Cataria. Story by Travis Bossard, and I can never pronounce Mick's last name, but he's the one who had Oscar and Klaus. He still has Klaus. Klaus is 20 years old now. So, and if you guys remember, just to give you a little reminder about Oscar was the blind cat. got very, very internet famous because of the YouTube pages where they were putting up, like they adopted him from a farm, and it was the first time, they put the video of the first time he had toys, and it was really adorable. And so Oscar basically took the internet by storm, and his buddy Klaus lives with them. He's an older cat, and Klaus is the one who has one ear that can't go up. So this is a little information on him, and I will read this to you. Oscar and Klaus are real cats who share their real-life adventures every day with friends all over the world. Oscar was born completely blind, and Klaus was rescued from a rough life as a stray. Together, they've shown the world that there's no limit to the thrill and wonder of life. All you need is the power of friendship and your imagination. All right. So, let me take the cover off, because sometimes they get a little weird when I try to hold it up. And Oscar and Klaus actually autographed my book, so did Mick and his wife. How's Gallant? Gallant's doing great. Gallant has had a stuffy nose last couple of days, but he gets that every now and then. So, all right. Klaus was startled awake by a zip and a zoom. Oscar, stop running around the room. Just let me sleep like a proper house cat. The job of a cat is to nap and get fat. Oscar giggled. Come on, Klaus, it's time to play. You snooze all night and then most of the day. Come on, Klaus, it's time to play. You snooze all night and then most of the day. Can't you see that the world is a thrilling place? And beyond our planet, there's outer space. Klaus snarled. Why be awake if I can't look my best? I need 10 more hours of my beauty rest. So, here's the picture of Oscar and Klaus. You can see Klaus here sleeping on the sofa, and there is Oscar right by the TV. Alright. Just then, oh, this is great. A man on TV with a unique accent was describing an abnormal cosmic event. An asteroid would pass between Earth and the Moon, and it's going to happen very soon. We must probe the mysteries of the cosmos, declared space pioneer Alan Probos. He was the founder of CAT, or Cosmic Adventure Technologies. Will we discover life when we get there? Probos ran his hands through his wild hair. Is such thing even possible on a minor dwarf planet that's so small? Our plan is to land on this odd planetoid. 2 brave volunteers will be deployed. So if you love adventure, don't delay. We start training cadets right away. And you will see who Space Pioneer Alan Provost looks like if you guys watch Ancient Aliens. That's kind of funny, and you can see the cat. And obviously that's Oscar watching the TV. Because we know that that's Oscar because Klaus, only one ear goes up. Alright. This time I think you've gone too far, Klaus grumbled to Oscar in the back of the car. As the CAT buildings came into view, Klaus shouted, I will not be part of this crew. Oscar smiled. You said it's your dream to be by the stars. It's not like we're going all the way to Mars. Klaus snapped back. I meant the stars you would find in Hollywood, not the outer space kind. So, here's the picture of Oscar and Klaus getting ready to go on to their adventure. And then here is the CAT, the Cosmic Adventure Technologies. Very cute. Probos mused, I did not expect cats, but no one else came, so that is that. The plan is quite simple, so let me explain. Your trek is demanding, so you must train to strengthen your body and sharpen your mind. And it's no trouble at all that Oscar is blind. With courage and a positive disposition, you'll have the right stuff to serve on this mission. Oscar agreed. We're ready to start. Let's learn the new skills before we depart. All right. So there's Klaus, and then there's Oscar, and then there's Alan Provost, who, again, he looks like he definitely is based on the Ancient Aliens guy. So. Oscar was introduced to a robot named Yuri, who stood on one wheel of which he would scurry. Provost smiled. He's your sample collector, the yellow unidentified rock inspector. Get it, Yuri, Y-U-R-I, yellow unidentified rock inspector. His job is to handle any hazardous matter. As he said this, Yuri started to chatter. It's my pleasure to lend you my helping hand. Just say, okay, Yuri, followed by your command. In spite of his huffing, wheezing, and straining, Klaus somehow kept up with all of the training. A centrifuge spun him like a big roundabout to prepare him for blast-off so he wouldn't pass out. All right. So here's Oscar down here. Oh, there. I'm trying to do this. And then here's Klaus in the centrifuge. Klaus doesn't look like he's enjoying it too much. Each training day started at 6 a.m. They would get a small break around 9 or 10. They would train some more until 3, get fed, and then until 7, then go straight to bed. Preparations were made down to every detail. Each control panel button was labeled with Braille. As launch day approached, their skills were perfected. The rocket was loaded and fueled and inspected. Klaus begged, I will need my fizzy water machine. Oscar allowed it to avoid causing a scene. Here's Oscar and Klaus doing their training, doing their breathing exercises. And then there's Oscar doing some preparation, and then of course Klaus getting his fizzy water machine. Yuri reported, pre-flight check is done. Our journey commences in 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. The rocket ship left Earth with startling power, reaching 17.5 thousand miles an hour. On board was a plexiglass storage box designed to protect the sample rocks. Also a plant to remind them of home, it sat in a small transparent dome. Lastly, the machine that carbonates water, since Klaus insists bubbly water tastes better. So, so here is the rocket, and if you look real closely, you can see Klaus looking out the window of the rocket. "I can't believe we're actually flying through space," Oscar exclaimed, a huge grin on his face. "I feel like my body weighs nothing at all," Klaus gasped as they orbited in a state of free fall. When the asteroid finally came into view, every crew member knew just what to do. The illustrations are here are very, very good. Really, really good illustrations. A nice little book. Oscar and Klaus put on their special space suits, along with their helmets and grippy space boots. Exploring the asteroid, they felt strange sensations. Oscar detected puzzling vibrations. Klaus saw colorful, flickering beams of light that seeped through the cracked surface steams. Thanks, Lost Girl. A lot of it is from Bonnie's teaching days. Also, some of these I've gotten, like, because I was, they did a fundraiser for this book, and if you pledged a certain amount, you would get the book, and you would get some other things, and so that's how I got the Oscar and Klaus books. "Okay, Yuri," Oscar ordered, "retrieve a rock sample." Yuri squawked back, "I'll select the finest example." Beep, bloop, blarp, beep, bleep. 10 minutes went by, and just as expected, Yuri returned with a lump he collected. Look at Klaus. He doesn't look exactly happy about that. And then, of course, look at Oscar. The jagged green fragment was placed in the box, designed to protect mysterious space rocks. Moments later, it started to pulse and gleam with an eerie light that frightened the team. Crack! So it looks like it cracked that. Guess we'll find out more on the next page. Are you guys trying to walk up me? "Oh heavens!" screamed Klaus as he started to pant. "The sample has taken control of the plant." The shrub broke its container, and when it was freed, it quadrupled in size with incredible speed. The ship's electronics were going haywire. The whole situation went from bad to dire. Mission Control heard all of the mayhem. Both cats were shouting, "We have a problem." As Oscar and Klaus grew more and more frantic, the shrub grew from big to huge to gigantic. There was only one thing that vines were after. They wanted more food, CO2, and water. They squeezed the liquid out of Klaus's fizz bottles and soaked it all up along with the bubbles. Nobody could stop it, and although they tried, the weed absorbed all the carbon dioxide. "We need to escape this grotesque green glutton." Klaus panicked and hit the eject now button. So here is Klaus hitting the eject now button. And there, of course, is Oscar, who Doesn't have a care in the world. Whoosh! Total chaos broke out right after ejection. The objects on board went in every direction. The escape pod shot up and floated away. Yuri snagged Klaus as they drifted away. The planet froze and shattered, chunks scattered around. Soon, Oscar and the Rock were nowhere to be found. So there's Klaus. And there's Yuri grabbing Klaus, but then of course there's Oscar, who looks like it might be drifted off into space. Klaus and Yuri kept coasting through the infinite void, by now miles away from that weird asteroid. Okay, Yuri, sobbed Klaus, we should sing a song. It might give us courage and help us stay strong. Yuri agreed. This is a very good plan. I'll load the music as soon as I can. Beep, bloop, blurp, bleep. When your mind is full of fears and you feel like shedding tears, don't lose your head. Just use your head. When your heart is losing hope and you don't know how to cope, don't lose your head. You gotta use your head. Bleep, blibbity, bloop, shoobity, doop, wah. Klaus held on to Yuri in a desperate embrace, singing as they sailed into the depths of space. And there is Klaus and Yuri, but where is Oscar? Back on Earth, thousands of miles away, Mission Control's nerves started to fray. Provost blurted, in my expert opinion, the odds of survival are 1 in 10 billion. As these hopeless words discouraged the team, a fuzzy face appeared on the video screen. Oscar cut through the static, beating every odd. He was sending a message from the escape pod. I'm in the capsule. Although I'm alone, I'll find the others. We're all coming home. So some really, really nice pictures here. First of all, there's probes, there's mission control, and if you look, there's the incoming transmission. You can see that there is Oscar coming with the incoming transmission. Completely lost, still floating along, Yuri and Klaus finished their lonesome song. I'm shutting down, Yuri wheezed. My battery is spent. It's down to 0.01%. Klaus sobbed. Dearest Yuri, I have to confess, I'm glad you were here with me during this mess. Just as Klaus gave up on any chance of rescue, a glimmer of hope whisked into view. Oscar! Oscar's paw reached out to grab his best friend, to at last bring their troubles to an end. Am I seeing things? Gasped Klaus. Could it really be? How in the world did you ever find me? No, really, here's a picture of Klaus, and then there's Oscar extending his hand. And look, 0.01%. No. Once all three were on board and Klaus ate some treats, Oscar described his bold rescue feats. When our ship fell apart, I stretched out my claws and snagged the CO2 tank between my paws. A button on the nozzle created a blast. The compressed gas made me move fast. The escape pod's transmission perked up my ear. As the sound got louder, I knew where to steer. Once I boarded the craft, I homed in on your song. Your broadcast level was still quite strong. That's how you found me, Klaus wept joyful tears. I was saved by my singing and your well-trained ears. That's kind of cute because, as everybody knows, when you lose a sense like sight, you get another sense that usually is a little more better, like sound. So look at that little Oscar on the. I wonder why that's flickering like that. Huh. Interesting. There we go. The end of the voyage was drawing near as the capsule blazed through Earth's atmosphere. It rumbled and shook like an amusement park ride, but that didn't alarm the brave spirits inside. As dark black space gave way to bright blue skies, Oscar revealed a glowing surprise. I saved that extraterrestrial chunk and stowed it inside this craft's cargo trunk. And there they are. They're going back to Earth. Probo sat down by his new alien rock. He and his cat were in for a shock. Once again, the elements started to glow. It caused the hair on his head to grow and grow. He was actually delighted by the shaggy mess. The mission to Cataria was a huge success. Outside, voices cheered and a marching band played. The returning heroes were throwing a parade. Oscar and Klaus felt encouraged as they drove away to live the life they each wanted every single day. So here's Mr. Probst with his hair just completely growing. And then here's the parade with Oscar and Klaus. Waiting for it to the autofocus. Alright, I think that's good. Alright. So, this book is dedicated to many brave animal space explorers who paved the way for Oscar and Klaus. 1949 was Albert II, was a rhesus monkey, USA, first monkey in space. 1957 was Leica, was a dog from the USSR, first animal to orbit Earth. 1961 was Ham and Enos, chimpanzees from the USA, the first primates in space. And then how's this? 1963, Felicette, a cat from France, the first cat in space. Learn more at space.oscarandklaus.com. And it says, this book would not have been possible without our generous support of our Kickstarter backers. Thank you for helping to bring this project to life. And then there's a special thanks to a bunch of folks who probably helped out with some of this. Uh-oh. Looks like my wife is on. So there are the animals that have actually been in space. Albert, Leica, Ham and Enos, and Felicette. Alright, so let me kind of read the back for the authors. Nick lives in Seattle, Washington with his wife Bethany, daughter Faye, and their two cats, Oscar and Klaus. Mick has a passion for photography, outdoor exploration, and wildlife conservation. He is also a musician, playing guitar, bass, and keyboards. Oscar and Klaus love to rock out. He and Bethany are strong advocates for special needs pet adoption and are thrilled to hear when people are encouraged to adopt a special needs pet as a result of experiencing Oscar's story. Travis Bossard was born and raised in Nebraska, but has enjoyed living abroad in places such as Venezuela and Chile. When he isn't developing fun new projects with everybody's favorite feline adventure duo, Oscar and Klaus, Travis likes to serenade his lovely wife Annie and their trusty dog Noki on his accordion. So and I know I went through it before, but Oscar did pass away a couple years ago, um, which is a shame because I think Oscar's adventures have been very inspirational. Um, he just like Jackie always says, every cat matters, um, and really, Oscar has lived a great life. Now I know that Mick, in the meantime, adopted another blind cat named Luna, a female, and I think they also had another daughter. So they have two kids. So even though Oscar has passed away, Klaus is still alive and kicking. He's 20 years old, and they still do a lot of stuff on the Oscar and Klaus website, as well as Oscar the Blind Cat and things like that. So um, I don't think they're quite as busy. I think, but they definitely still do a lot of um, things for, um, you know, to benefit blind cats. One of the great things about they set up a shop where you can buy certain things, and all the proceeds went to blind cat rescue in North Carolina. They got some of the proceeds, and a couple other rescues around the area. I think one was in Seattle, since that's where they live now. So it's been actually pretty wonderful. Uh, so, anybody have any questions? Okay, Lost Girl. I don't know if they're flagged. Um, that's probably a good idea because we got the other. I think I could pee on this is in the restroom, and I think there's a couple other things in there. Uh, and Lost Girl, you'll probably be excited about this. Uh, one of next week's books is about a feral cat colonies in Philadelphia, and it's actually in my very old neighborhood that I grew up. Um, the book is called "Be Kind to Cats." What happened to my hair? I don't know. I wish you wouldn't. I go to sleep one day, and for some reason I wake up and my wife has got clippers in her hands, and I got hair all over the bed. I don't know why she clipped my hair. Must have been really deep asleep. I don't know. So I'm excited and actually that book "Be Kind to Cats" and it's cats with a K is put out by the two girls who go around and they feed these feral cats. It's called Colony Cats and two Ks, Colony and Cats with a K. I did let them know that I'm going to be reading the book next week, so we might have a few more folks online when I read next week. So, it should be fun, Lost Girl. They do a lot of good work. They they collect money so that they can have enough food, and I think what they do is I don't know if they go to 3 different colonies or 4, and all of these feral cats they take care of, and then if one of the cats gets sick or gets injured, they will raise money to get the cat um, uh, fixed up. The other thing they do is they make sure every one of these feral cats is spayed and neutered. So they do such a great job, and it's going to be really exciting to read that for you next week. The reason why I didn't bring it today is because I couldn't find my original book. So I actually ordered a couple spare books, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give one to Jackie so that maybe she can give it out as a one of the fundraisers. So again, that's called "Be Kind to Cats." If you're interested on that is on Amazon's website. So that's like 12 bucks. And also this Troopers book here is also on Amazon. I did get that for Amazon. I was going to read that last week or the week before, I forget, but it didn't come in time. And again, it's a cute little book. If you're interested in the Oscar and Klaus books, you can just go to oscarandklaus.com. And I don't know if they still have these available or not. What neighborhood? It's actually, some parts of it are in Alany, some parts are in Juniata. I think they live on Masher Street, which is Alany/Feltonville. I grew up in Alany, so you know, like I said though, they have to, every day they go to 4 colonies and they feed and they check up on the cats and all of that. And it's funny because a lot of times, you know, oh, look, there's a new cat in the colony, and maybe the cat is, yes, that's true. So if you go to Amazon, make sure you go through FFRC's link if you're interested in purchasing any of these books. Go through FFRC and they get some of the money too. So, so it'll be fun reading that book next week. Mia something, I forget what her name is, but they on their Facebook page, and I know a lot of chatters are on their page too. There's been a couple cats that were dumped in the colonies recently, and the cats were very, very sweet. And what they did was they captured the cats and got them fosters, and they, you know, try to adopt them out. So quite a few people have adopted some cats from the colony cats, and that's just wonderful. Most of these feral cats are feral, so yes, a trip with the Phillies, that would be wonderful if, you know, if that opens up anytime soon. Yeah, the Measers are kind of insane. And hello, Kiara. How's the Kiara? How's Kiara? Yeah, it's funny because the Siamese cats, they were talking to me when I first came in. You know how Measers are. They are very talkative. Hi. Pouncing. So, if I'm not are all the Siamese cats spoken for, the kittens? I know the Siamese cats are usually adopted pretty quick here, so. Kiara. Yes, what? I was very disappointed because I told you after I picked up somebody's medicine today, I stopped at Arby's to get something to eat because I haven't eaten, and I usually get the brisket sandwich because I love their brisket sandwiches, and they were out and they were packed. You know, I was probably in line there for 20 minutes, which meant that I couldn't run into and get a couple things that I wanted to get. So, oh well. Hey guys. Oh, I see Marilyn has moved up. Oh, you're welcome, Dutchie. Lucy. Lucy. Hi, Lucy. Lucy girl. How are you doing? How you doing, Lucy? Oh, the butt wiggles. There we go. Our Felice Navidad Fund helps cats that like fleas. And there's a picture of Galen on the Felice Navidad Fund. Yeah, well, we don't have a lot of restaurants here, like a lot of, you know, not the ones that I like, but I do like Arby's. There's 2 Taco Bells here, and I think there's a Burger King, and I don't know if there's a Pizza Hut or not, but I do know there's a Little Caesars, there's a Papa John's, there's definitely a Domino's, you know, but I'm not really a big fan of those types. Oh, look, there is Zelda. Zelda. I figure I'll stay here till 10 and then I'm going to get home because I do have to. Thanks, Ms. M. My brother in Jersey, he's okay. He lives in probably the smallest. He lives in the smallest county in New Jersey, which is Union County, and they've gotten hit pretty hard with the virus. So he is really trying to push the social distancing. He's not going out. You know, they're walking the dog, and I know that, you know, if somebody else is coming by, they go into the street and stuff like that. So, you know, he's really trying hard to isolate. But, you know, it's hard when he got 2 girls, 13 years old and 11 years old. You know, and I'm sure they're bored to tears. But, you know, they're doing okay. Are you talking about Panda Express Lost Girl? We've actually been there a couple times. Panda Express is okay. We had a Panda Express in Chesapeake, Virginia too, and we've gone there a couple times. Sometimes though, I think with this, with everything, you know, I think they limited their. No, actually, he's not sick. So he's just real concerned that he doesn't want to get sick. He doesn't want to bring it home to his girls or his wife. So, but yeah, Panda Express is okay. We've actually have ordered a delivery from there a couple times. You know, it's funny because you look at you think there's a person there with the shoes and the jeans and. Oh, that's right, the shingles. Yeah, my brother did get diagnosed with shingles. That's right, I forgot. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, Chinatown is, you know, there's some really, really good restaurants in Chinatown. Yeah, right at 10th and Arch, where the big Chinatown Arch is. Wonder if those little varmints have calmed down. I haven't seen them come out in about 5 minutes. Hey, Marilyn. Who's here? Oh, somebody is up there now. Here, there they are. This is a first. I have never gotten a chance to touch Nyota. This is wonderful. Hi, girlie. Are you liking indoor life? Are you liking it? Oh, this is great, isn't this? This is terrific. You're still a little skittish. But boy, what progress. I couldn't get within 5 feet of her before. Hey, hey, hon, maybe Nyota needs to talk to Emmy. Marilyn. Hey, I got you. I got a little measer. Measer. I got a measer. You want to go down and play with your friends? Oh, God. Just jumping out of my hands. Hi, Lucy. 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 Nyota. Hey, Nyota. Oh, look at this. This is wonderful. I could never do this before to Nyota. This is wonderful. Wow. This proves you never should give up. Such a good girl. Such a good girl. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey, you little fur balls. Thank you. What? Oh, yeah? Hi. You're sleeping very soundly, magic boy. Callan's doing good. He's been the last couple of days. He's had a stuffy nose. He goes through that every now and then. Yes. I have never gotten a chance to pet Nyota before, so. Hi, Marilyn. Marilyn. Well, the other thing about Gallant, he can get a really devil streak in him, a very naughty streak. Yesterday, he jumped up on top of the fireplace, and we have a wreath that's up there, and he started to chew on the wreath. Sometimes he just goes, he runs through the house like a crazy cat. And and every time we put food down, he always has to be the first cat there, which is funny because he will, when I put the wet food out, he'll only eat a couple lecks and then he has to go to everybody else's plate. Ultimately he will go back, but it must be great being top cat. So, but yeah, he definitely does have his naughty streak. Here's Jesse. Yes, that's right. Gallant jumps up on the stove. You know, he has no shame. Jumps up on the counter. Yeah, just like Pippi. Um, what you got there? Of course, the cat dog is here too. It's tough living the life of a cat, isn't it? Janie. Janie. Things were. Well, that's another thing about Gallant. He likes plastic, where there's plastic bags, uh, saran wrap, anything like that. He will chew on it. So we have to be a little careful with him because he likes plastic. I don't know what it is. I was telling some folks when I first came in uh, that our mother and daughter combo we have, which is Jessie is the daughter and Magnolia who's the mother. Um, when I start work around 8 o'clock a.m. and they will usually join me with the computer, but the last couple of days we had about 6 Blue Jays out there, and boy, they have been going crazy watching the Blue Jays and doing those. Kind of cute. So um, it's funny watching them. And I tease Jessie because we fostered Jessie when I guess we picked her up when she was 2 weeks old. She's the only one of the cats that hasn't spent significant time, out in the wild, out, you know, other than her eye problem when she had that really bad um, virus, you know, she never really had to fend for herself outside and things like that. But the rest of them, they all have stories. Just like all these kitties here, these all have stories. And of course, now that they're here, their lives have gotten that much better. Right, Marilyn? Marilyn? Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. All right. So I think I'm going to get going. Um, if any of the mods are still on, you might want to let Jackie know that all of the hand sanitizer seems like the hand sanitizer is all gone. So uh, in the welcome room and also over here where she usually keeps it, it's gone. So no problem, DeWitty. And DeWitty, don't miss next week's. Next week's is going to be a really great story. So, and I think we're going to have some other folks um, joining us that wrote the book that we're going to that I'm going to read. So, oh, you're welcome. So, have a great day, everybody, and I will see you here next week. Remember, stay safe And don't go out unless you have to. And if you do have to go out, make sure you follow the social distance rules. Don't be like those idiots who decided to storm the governor's office today in Ohio. You know, unfortunately, there are just some people who are never going to get it. Thank you, Oil Sands. Thank you, DeWitty. Have a good day, everybody. Bye, Zelda. Right. Right. You don't say. Or you don't say, Jesse. Jesse. Hi. Uh-oh. I'm trapped. Tiara is on my jacket.